The mountains too tall and intimidating, its flag air shielding the darkness within. One had always known that managing Jungkook, the most feared mafia leader, would never be a fairy tale. He was ruthless, cold, and unreadable, a man who commanded power with a single gaze. Yet, despite the icy demeanor, there was one person who melted his defenses, and it was not her. It was Leah. Leah, the innocent daughter of the head maid, had grown up within these walls, watching Jungkook from afar. Unlike others who feared him, she adored him, she admired him with the wide, dreamy eyes. Always Phoenix used to be around him, and the most infuriating part, Jungkook never pushing her away. No matter how many times Van reminded herself that her husband would never betray her, she could not shake off the burning jealousy. It started with small things. Leah would greet Jungkook every morning with an exaggeratingly sweet voice. Good morning, Mr. Jian. Did you sleep well? She is being clasps her hand behind her back, her eyes twinkling with admiration. Jungkook would simply nod, his expression unreadable, before continuing his work, but soon the little girl became bolder. She would linger around his office, offering him coffee, stealing glances, and giggling at his cold response. It was childish, but what unnerved Ryan the most was that Jungkook never scolded her. He never told her to leave with Ryan. He was distant, barely acknowledging her unless necessary. With Leah, he was different. One evening, Ryan found him in the library. Jungkook sat on the leather couch, a book in his hand, his usual serious expression in place. Leah, sitting across from him, was rumbling about some novel she had read. You know, Mr. Jian, Leah said excitedly, you're just like the main character, mysterious, powerful, and security kind. Jungkook raised a brow, clearly unimpressed kind. He suffocated, you are mistaken. But Ryan noticed the way his lips twitched, just slightly, as if he were amused. Leah put it, no, I am not. You are always nice to me. Ryan's fingers curled into fist. How could this girl be so confident? Did she not realize who she was speaking to and why? Why was Jungkook enjoying this? Leah's confidence only grew over time. She would casually place a heart on Jungkook's arm, laugh a little too freely, and make bold statements that left Ryan speechless. I think I will marry someone like you one day, Mr. Jian. Jungkook was polishing his gun at the time, pushed for a moment before shaking his head. Would you regret it? No, I would not. Leah, instead, you act all cold, but I know you care, Ryan's patience snapped. That's enough, Leah. Her voice was sharper than instinct. Leah blinked, her innocent act slipping for just a second. Oh, Mr. Jian, I was just joking. Jungkook glanced between the two women, his expression unreadable, but instead of defending his wife, he simply said, go help your mother, Leah. The girl screamed and left her confidence unshaken. Wine turned to Jungkook, fury burning in her chest. Why do you let her act this way? Do you not see how she looks at you? Jungkook exhales, placing his gun on his dark eyes. Matters. She is just a child. She's old enough to know what she's doing. Van shot back and you never stop her. Jungkook leaned back, watching her with an intensity that made her shiver. Why does it bother you so much? Because I'm your wife, because you have never looked at me the way you looked at her. But Van could not say that. Instead, she turned away, biting her lip. One night, Leah's closed the line. Jungkook had returned home, excited from a business deal gone wrong. His white shirt was stained with blood. Someone else's blood, Ryan knew better than to ask. As she approached him in their bedroom, Leah entered holding a towel. You had hurt Mr. Jian, she said softly. Let me take care of you. And short bounded she tears. Jungkook did not move as Leah stepped closer, but before she could touch him enough, Ryan voice rang out sharp and commanding. Leah flinched. Jungkook looked at her, silent. Go back to your mother, Leah. Ryan's voice was is with warning. For the first time, the girl hesitated her confidence, swallowing under Ryan's pressing gaze with a small note she left. Jungkook's sign was that necessity. Yes, Van. Snap, do you not see how she acted around you? Do you not care? Jungkook studied her, his dark eyes searching hers. Then, in an unaccepted move, he pulled her closer. You are jealous. His voice was deep almost. Van tried to push him away, but he tightened his grip. You are an idiot, she muttered. Jungkook smacked his lips, crossing over hers. And you're my wife. Maybe I should remind you of that more often. Her breathage, maybe just maybe Leah was never the problem. Maybe it was her own insecurities, and maybe she had been blind to the fact that despite everything, Jungkook had always been here. Why did not sleep that night? Jungkook had held her close, his breath warm against her skin, as if his quiet possessiveness was meant to reassure her. But it did not, because the next morning Leah was back. The jungle was in the kitchen, humming as she preparing a tray. Black coffee, just how Jungkook liked it. Wine patience was wearing thin. Where are you taking that? Wine asked, crossing her arms. Leah turned with a sweet smile to Mr. Jian. Of course, I will take it. Wine stepped forward, her voice firm. Leah hesitated, but then titled her head. Oh, but I always bring him his morning coffee. Not today. The air between them was heavy, an unspoken battle of power. Van saw it now. Leah was not just some naive girl with a crush. She knew exactly what she was doing. Leah's lips twitched into a small pout. Mr. Jian, you don't have to feel threatened. I'm not, Van replied smoothly, taking the tray from her hands. I just don't allow others to overstep their boundaries. Leah blinked before stepping back, her smile returning. Of course, Mr. Jian. I will leave him to you then. Ryan watched her retreat, gripping the tray tighter. Yes, you will. Jungkook was seated in his study, flipping through documents when Ryan entered. He barely looked up until she set the coffee in front of him. You are not Leah. His voice was unreachable. Ryan took a deep breath. No, I'm your wife. Jungkook finally lifted his eyes to hers. There was something in his gaze, an amusement, a knowing look that made her feel exposed. Are you jealous, Ryan? She clenched her jaw. Should I be? Jungkook leaned back in his chair, studying her. Leah is a child. No, she's not. Ryan's voice was sharp. She knows exactly what she's doing, and you let her. A long silence stretched between them before Jungkook smacked. You are cute when you are made. Ryan felt her agitation bubbles over. This is not funny, Jungkook. He sighed and stood, walking around the decks until he was towering over her. He reached out, fingers brushing against her jaw. And what would you have me do? He murmured. Throw her out, pinch her for something harmless. Harmless when suffocated. She's walking around acting like she owns you. Jungkook chucked a dark sound on me. Sweetheart, no one on me. His grip tightened slightly, tightened her chin up. Except you, when breath catch. Jungkook's eyes darkened as he pulled her closer, his voice dropping. Tell me, my jealous wife, should I prove it to you? The way he looked at her sent a shiver down her spine. Maybe this battle was not between her and Leah. Maybe it was between her and Jungkook, because he knew exactly how to get under her skin, and he was winning. Leah did not back down. Over the next few days, she continued her sweet advances, brushing her hair against Jungkook's arm, laughing at his cold responses, lingering in places she did not belong. But Van did not argue anymore. She watched, waited, and when the right moment came, she struck. That night there was a formal gathering at the mansion. Business partners, high-ranking members of the mafia. Leah, dressed in a soft pastel dress, made her way to Jungkook's side as if she belongs there. But before she could reach him, Vine stepped forward with a smile. She linked her arm through Jungkook's, pulling him close. His eyes flickered with curiosity, but he let her. Leah hesitated. Jungkook Vine put it, titling her head. Dance with me, Jungkook raised her bro. He was not the type of dance at social events, and she never asked, but this time something in her tone made him smirk. As you wish, wife. Why, and did not miss the way Leah's face fell as Jungkook pulled her onto the dance floor. As they Swayed to the slow music, Jungkook leaned on, marking jaw tragically. Fine smiled up at him, unbothered, just reminding a little girl of her place. Jungkook clutched his grip tighter around her waist. I love it when you get possessive. Shut up and dance. He did, and Leah, she's finally understood. She was never a threat because she and Jungkook had always been violent. Leah did not approach Jungkook again that night. She stood at the edge of the ground ballroom, her expression carefully masked, violence make to herself as she rested her head against Jungkook's chest, their slow dance continuing under the golden candlelight. "You're enjoying this too much," Jungkook murmured in her ear. Wine pulled back slightly, meeting his dark eyes. "You let her push the limits. I simply remind her that I exist." Jungkook checked slowly, "Sweetheart, no one could never forget you." Viance wanted to believe him, but Leah's confidence had shaken her more than she cared to admit. She later that night she found the girl standing alone in the dimly lit hallway. Leah turned smiling as if she had not just been put it on place hours ago. "Mrs. Chen, we need to talk." Leah folded her hands in front of her. "Of course, what about?" One stepped closer, her presence heavy, unyielding. "You know exactly what?" Leah sighed, feeling innocent. "You think I am after Mr. Chen?" "I don't think I know." For a second, something flickered in Leah's eyes, an acknowledging meant a silent admission, but then she juggled her head with a soft laugh. "You misunderstood, Mrs. Chen." She clasped her hands together. "I simply admire him, and why not it? Wouldn't I? A powerful, handsome, protective and clicked her jaw. Leah took a step forward, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Do you know why he never pushed me away?" Wine's breath still. "Because deep down, he likes being admired. He likes being the center of attention. And you," Leah smiled sweetly, "you take him for granted." Why did not flinch, did not let the words settle in her bones. Instant she laughed, a slow dark clutch that made Leah blink. "You think Jungkook enjoys admiration?" Swan stepped closer, lowering her voice to something sharp and dangerous.